Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting of the Dauphin County Industrial Development Authority to order at 12:10 p.m. I'm sorry? 12:05. Okay, 12:10, 12:05, sorry. 12:05. For April 17th of 2025. And I will do a roll call. Mr. Foley.
Here.
Mr. Reaver.
Here.
Mr. Rickers. Present. And I'm here, Matt Steck. Members of the public here. Jim Roxbury. Somebody from Penn Live whose name I can't read. John, sorry. And Brian.
Yes.
Brian Capital. Well, no other members of the public. We're going to do a report on executive session held before the meeting. We had an executive session where we discussed personnel and received legal advice on both advertising and property matters. And so that was discussed earlier. And so now I will allow public participation on agenda items only. I don't know if anybody wanted to say anything. Maybe not, and Pam's not here. And so sorry that she's not here. And so we'll go to the approval of the minutes for February 20th, 25 and the March 20th, 25 meetings. We're taking them as a package. I've reviewed them. I know that they're good, but I'll look for a motion. But the reason that we're doing this is because last time Mr. Foley and Mr. Reaver, who are new members, weren't here at those meetings and didn't have an opportunity to really review the minutes in a meaningful way. So now that they've done that, I'll look for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Foley,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Rickers. Questions, discussion?
I'm going to abstain. I would vote yes on the March 20th meeting because I was there, but I'm just going to abstain out of deference because I wasn't at the February 20th meeting. So
Would you,
So, go ahead.
would you like me to remove that motion and make a separate motion so that they're done separately?
I would probably have the same thing. I wasn't there, so I can't.
yeah, that was my concern
Okay.
last time.
So if I may, that was the issue last month, and that's why we put them back on. The two abstentions are effectively no votes, and so then we don't have a majority.
Okay, I thought you said last time that would.
I did, so we're correcting them.
Okay, gotcha. All right. That was my confusion because that's what my assumption of Robert's rules was too. Okay,
And you
so-
were right.
Okay.
So then without that, we would have unapproved minutes.
Correct, for
So,
February
February
meeting.
meeting.
For purposes of process,
Yeah,
I will withdraw the idea of abstaining and I'll vote yes, that the context of the minutes is being shared.
if you think you need to review them again.
No, I did. So, yeah, I wasn't there. So if everyone is confirming like, hey, these are accurate minutes, I don't have a problem voting to approve the accuracy of minutes.
Okay.
Do the same. I did watch the video and it seemed to encapsulate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, smart move.
All right, so we will take them as a package. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Abstain?
I'm I cleaned it up.
Okay. Opposed likewise? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion passes. That's confusing. Get it right. Now, even more exciting. Sent to you, I will make the motion to approve the financials, accept the financials from January 2024 through March of 2025 and audit. We'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion. Did you all get a chance to look through? You know, I know you're in the
I
calendar.
reviewed all of January and February. I did do a quick look through March, but I feel confident enough to vote yes on this today.
I mean, do you have experience, and I ask this because of the Oracle system that we use from an accounting standpoint now. Do you have experience in that in terms of looking at those ledgers and is it easy for you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I mean, it's not.
I would say it was not for me.
Yeah.
It's quite voluminous.
Right, no. I mean, that was
But it's not
This can't
difficult.
be
It's just a
condensed.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, now that it's, because it's so
Yeah.
long, because of
Yes.
the system change.
Because we kept compiling months.
Like 121
So-
pages.
Sorry about
Because I was looking at it, I'm like.
Which is
yeah.
common in software switch. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big onerous burden for you to stand up a whole new software. And so I certainly appreciate and value the work that you put into doing that transition and understand why we got to a point that it's taken so long. And I expect that we'll receive them regularly from
Yes.
here on
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
This was just merely a software change.
It
which
was.
Similar things happened at the city when they switched software, so.
Any other comments? Motion is second. All in favor of acceptance of the financials pending audit, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Solicitors report and action items.
I don't have a report, but there are 2 action items under new business.
Yes. And so why don't we take that new business up? We have a resolution that is designating authorized signatories for bank accounts.
So as is being passed around, there is a resolution of this board to authorize designated signatories for the authority bank accounts and directing necessary actions related to that. And so I think it's pretty self-explanatory with regard to the IDA is responsible for certain programs that require certain expenditures to be paid. Dauphin County Department of Community and Economic Development is the administrative office of the IDA, and therefore there are certain officers and or staff members that handle certain responsibilities for the IDA. And so the resolution that's presented to you identifies or designates those board members as well as staff members that are authorized to sign checks and other items on behalf of the IDA. In particular, you will see in the resolution, it notes or points out that Autumn Kozlowski is the acting executive director, and so that's being clarified as well. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
And so to clarify
Well, I
this.
guess I'm sorry.
No, I guess we'll make a motion.
Motion.
Yes,
I'll make that motion.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
And so just to clarify for the record, this removes Mr. Director Connor. And because of the clarifying language in the bylaws of the organization that designates who will be the, in charge of executing things for the authority, that because of the change in status with the county, with Director Connor, that he would not be on this account anymore, correct?
It is our understanding with the financial institutions that the authority has accounts with that you are correct if, an individual doesn't have rights or those rights aren't active, that they would not, be able to be, signing on behalf of the authority or the account.
Thank you for the clarification.
So we have a vacancy at the deputy director's spot. Do you foresee, is that an internal, could you name it deputy? So that has to be done by the commissioners themselves.
It's done through a hiring process, so.
And I'm sorry to ask this
It's okay.
question. Were you in the deputy role before?
No.
Okay. That was Doug, right?
Correct.
When he was- okay, okay. I just wasn't. So we still have that vacancy. It doesn't, and because there's 3 folks on this, we're covered.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
Hearing none. With motion is second, all in favor of the motion supporting the signature of this resolution or signing of this resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise, and the ayes have it. And I will sign this. Thank you. Another new business, the approval of the IDAs.
Sure. So the presented to you is a commercial lease agreement as it relates to the IDA. The IDA's new office location, which is 2 South 2nd Street in the building we're currently located in. And so there's a lease agreement for the space with the county as the landlord. And we believe it to be a straightforward office lease, identifying the term, the rent amount, the space that is being fees to the authority.
Pardon me. I think he's the
Yeah.
secretary. You're the treasurer.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't see treasurer on this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
We performed a legal review of the lease that was presented by the county to the IDA, and in its current condition being presented to you, we recommend execution or approval and execution.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Reaver, second by Mr. Rickards. Sign that one, please. Any other discussion? Any other comments that you may have? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor of the approval of the IDA lease agreement for office space, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed likewise, and the ayes have it. Old business. Solar project update.
Sure. So with regard to the solar project, as you know, everyone is aware, the IDA had put out an RFP last year, I believe in September of 2024, and received a proposal which was approved or authorized in December of 2024. The IDA is still working with the potential purchaser to move towards completing the transaction or a closing date. And at this time, it is targeted for the second quarter of 2025. I would say that the due diligence has somewhat picked up a little more, and just, getting requests for, documents related to the solar project and responding to that, and working to move this matter toward closing.
Is there anything that we need to do in terms of expediting the process to closure, or it's really their due diligence on their?
Yeah, so we just continue to, let the purchaser know if there's anything that we can do, any information that they need or documents, let us know, what they need or how we can help to get to a finality.
Thanks. I know Brooke's not here, but I know you lived through the gaming program before.
Yeah, actually, if you might have a better update.
Sure. The update is the same as last month. The, applications were submitted last fall. They have been reviewed by the Gaming Advisory Board. Hearings were held in January of this year. There was a public meeting for those applicants that did not receive a hearing. And so the Gaming Advisory Board is working through making their recommendations to the Board of Commissioners. And so that's where we are. Gaming program. And as Autumn mentioned, Brooke is the grant coordinator, but she's.
Any questions? Any disruption, Mike?
There is nothing.
Nothing to report? It's a small business loan program. Have you received any correspondence, any miscellaneous, anything from patrons? I say that. But is there any information on correspondence? Board comments, gentlemen. Public participation.
I have a question. James Roxbury, is George Conner still employed by the county, or does he have any role in this IDA board at all?
I don't know. I can't answer that question other than to know that, what I read in headline, in terms of the, suspension at that moment. But I don't, I can't speak to that. I think that's a question for the commissioners and for Mr. Hagerty.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Time, right? All right. I'll look for a motion to adjourn the IDA meeting at 12:20.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Reaver. I'll second it. Thank you. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Those likewise, the ayes have it. We are done at 12:20. All right. Now I'll call the meeting of the Dauphin County Economic Development Corporation to order at 12:20 p.m. on Thursday, April 17th. And we'll recognize the roll call, Mr. Foley, Mr. Reaver,
Here.
Mr. Rickers, Mr. Steck is present. And a report on the executive session held before the meeting would include the fact that we've discussed and received legal advice on advertising issues as well as personnel issues. We'll deal with it from a standpoint of the new business as a resolution issue, like we did before in the IDA meeting. Members of the public have an opportunity to speak on agenda items only. None, seeing none. In front of you or sent to you were the minutes from February 20th, 25 and March 20th, 25. So I will make a motion to approve the minutes. Seconded by Mr. Rickers. We had the discussion earlier in the IDA meeting, recognizing that Mr. Reaver and Mr. Foley weren't here for February, but I'm assuming that you would do the same thing as it relates to these, not have unapproved minutes. Any comments? We have a motion is second. All in favor of the motion to approve minutes for February and March, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Acceptance of financials. How many pages? I will make the motion to accept the financials from January 2024 through March 2025 pending audit. Second. Second by Mr. Rickers. Discussion. How many pages are there? 91. Is that 91? Oh, sure. Again, it's great. And when we can get back on track, I think it'll be much easier. And I would encourage you both, well, anybody sees these, to ask questions. We sign a lot of checks. There's a lot of things that flow through both of these entities. I'd like to make sure that if you have any questions on any of that, they can answer, whether it's by or hearing no other comments. All in favor of the motion to accept the financials, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise, the ayes have it. Financials are accepted. Congratulations, Dauphin. Thanks for all your work on that. I really do appreciate it. Solicitors report and action items.
I do not have a report, but there is an action item under new business.
Okay. Then let's get to new business.
I am presenting to you a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Dauphin County Economic Development Corporation designating authorized signatories for bank accounts and authorizing and directing the necessary actions to be able to designate those officers and or staff members that have authority to sign checks and other documents on behalf of the Dauphin County Economic Development Corporation. So that's the resolution.
Thank you. Question? I think this, continues to help us move forward and operate from a business standpoint. It's important for the citizens of Dauphin County. I will make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Reaver? Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor of approval of the resolution designating authorized signatories for bank accounts for the EDC, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed likewise. The ayes have it. And I will sign the document. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for these. Old business. Staff program reports. Anything from the CDBG home programs? Where are we in terms of CDBG funds?
So we are evaluating the 2025 applications. So all funding that is currently approved for the EDC is still being evaluated and moving.
Great. Tourism.
That process is, applications have been collected as of, that was cut off April 1st. So that is, being evaluated right now for recommendations for approval.
And that's an annual application.
Yes.
Any other questions under old business? Correspondence and miscellaneous items? None. Any further board comments?
Thank you, Madam, for stepping into this role.
Yes, thank you.
Any public comments? All right. So at 12:25, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. So moved. By Mr. Rickards. Second by Mr. Fuller. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed likewise, and we are adjourned at 12:26. Our next meeting is May 15th, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who made that motion?
I made the motion.
Adjourn.
Rickards.
Okay, I wrote down right.
Yeah.